Breaking news on the trial in Manhattan of Sean Diddy. The entertainment mogul Combs' transformation was breathtaking when the actor Ben Affleck came forward as a pivotal witness. Per court sources, Affleck provided proof that was characterized as essential to the case that thrusts his ex-wife, Jennifer Lopez, into the center of the inquiry into what's within Ben. The testimony of Affleck is pressuring Diddy on the verge of being executed and caused Jennifer Lopez to panic and run away. In the dead of night on a private jet in a federal courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs is facing serious charges. Ben Affleck appeared out of nowhere, not as an ex-husband, but as a celebrity observing a man with a concealed notebook, a hidden video, and proof of a hidden passageway beneath a bare residence location where it is said that countless after being brought in, the victims left. If they departed at all, it would be eternally altered. And then, a shocking revelation. Jennifer Lopez's name appeared in that journal. Was she a victim or an all-knowing individual? Ben opted for silence and didn't say anything. He spoke through tears and provided evidence, and that evidence was sufficient for Diddy to smack his angry fist on the table. While Jennifer Lopez sat with her head completely lowered, unable to explain why Ben would dare to do this, being aware that he can lose everything, and what else is concealed beneath $1 million. Parties and music contracts and a seemingly picture-perfect love story ideal. This isn't merely a test, but a conflict between shadow and light. Between one man has the courage to reveal the truth, and those who think they have the ability to purchase complete, unadulterated silence for all time. Ben Affleck's unedited debut comes first. Testimony, along with what he has disclosed, will make sure that Hollywood is never the same to you. Once again, I'm in front of the federal courthouse in Manhattan, where one of the most startling trials in the history of entertainment has just been revealed. Actor Ben Affleck just came out from the courtroom following the delivery of a breaking testimony. His face was bloodshot, his eyes frightened, and he firmly refused to interact with the horde of reporters in the courtroom. The atmosphere exploded with ferocity as Affleck exposed not just the illegal Sean Diddy Combs' business dealings, but also revealed a heartbreaking truth about his ex-wife, Jennifer Lopez, who is connected to One Morning. This murky network of criminal activity, the air in a courthouse in New York, became heavy. With the public's fervent interest, the music mogul Sean Diddy Combs formerly held sway over the entertainment industry and was charged with a long list of serious offenses: assault, extortion, and human trafficking. The trial wasn't merely a money laundering trial. The stage where the media frenzy took place was the darkest secrets of the privilege started to surface. However, none could have anticipated that Ben would be a man to amaze everyone. The Oscar-winning actor Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband are in the moment that departed the courtroom. Ben took the witness stand, panting. His eyes were determined yet filled with pain. He wasn't only there to make accusations against Diddy. He was present to reveal a devastating reality about the woman he used to adore, Jennifer Lopez, with all his heart. Why would an A-list Ben Affleck and other celebrities risk everything to face the unscrupulous power brokers of the entertainment sector? What motivated him to testify and end his silence? In the music against his ex-wife, is this a daring stance for Titan Diddy? Justice or a last-ditch effort by the narrative of the man who was cornered and betrayed begins in 2021. When Ben and their romance was rekindled by Jennifer following almost 20 years apart. The world had formerly loved Jennifer's Golden Ben. Affleck thought he knew a couple inside and out. Jennifer Lopez's touch of her hand, each look, each he believed he understood the subtle gesture. Even the innermost recesses of her heart. Of the woman who used to mean the world to him. But as the glitz of the red carpet faded and shadows began to appear, Jennifer started to transform. She disappeared late at night. Her phone light screen was buzzing in the early hours, flashing for a moment before she turned it off, as though Ben was trying to hide something. Ignore his skepticism, but whenever he inquired regarding her relationship with Diddy, Jennifer's, her smile strained as her eyes went cold. Between them, a wall rises. "It's simply the previous Ben," she would say, but her tone shuddered as if protecting a scary secret while Jennifer was sleeping one night. Ben was profoundly offended by an anonymous email. Though brief, its message was cut like a Diddy check on Blade, who never left. Phone, his heart thumping as though he were standing trembling at the brink of an abyss. He took Jennifer's phone in his hands and opened it and saw a message from an anonymous number gazing back at him at the customary 2 a.m. "Don't tell Affleck that your anger has soared." Spot like wildfire through him, he dialed the soothing, sweet voice of number. He replied, "What are you looking into, Ben? Keep an eye on yourself or you'll cause problems." The call concluded with, "On your own head, Ben." Click sharp, like a warning shot. Began to notice the small details, like the sound of Jennifer's footsteps halting in the evening in the living room, as though she were verifying something after he heard a slight click below the ground. However, once he questioned her about it, she simply chuckled and shifted the conversation. Ben clung despite his suspicions, hoping that Jennifer wasn't the one. Someone he was starting to fear. Ben drove through the thick fog at night on his heart in the suburbs of Los Angeles. He was so uncomfortable that he was unsure of whether he was merely following his instincts. Suddenly, his rearview mirror pushed him forward. A huge black mirror blazed with light. Behind him, the headlights of an SUV loomed, glaring like a predator's eyes. Ben was about to react when the SUV slammed. The sound of metal screeching reverberated into his automobile. Glass broke into a shower of pieces. Ben's vehicle veered off course and collided with the smoke from the road that surrounded him. There was blood dripping from a cut on his forehead while holding onto the steering wheel. His heart thumping as if he watched the SUV emerge from the fog. Pause. Its dark-tinted windows, the deadly sneer of a dark person inside, looked straight at him, as though burning a warning before disappearing into his soul. The cops declared it a crime late at night. Ben wasn't convinced, but it was a chance accident. He looked at his dash camera and discovered the license plate of an SUV was linked to a mysterious business, one that, based on Diddy, was linked to the anonymous tip. The terrifying menace of the billionaire reverberated in Ben's mind. In mind that you are causing yourself problems. A few days later, Ben's parents' Boston house was destroyed. Furniture was strewn and written in blood, red on the wall. The message of paint was to either keep quiet or you're the family has left the ruins. Ben held a ripped family photo in his hands and felt the blade of betrayal twist in his chest. Remembered an evening when Jennifer had a drink and he had muttered, "Diddy's got a notepad, which contains all of the secrets." Now, the words were dragging him like a curse. Ben started to shadow him into a lethal game. Jennifer slipped night after night, leaving the house and traveling to an abandoned industrial park on the outskirts of the city. Ben watched the night under the moonlight. She goes into an old warehouse and exchanges whispered conversation with a tall, commanding man. It was conveyed by the man's low, chilly voice. Ben from Diddy was hiding behind a container. Barely dared to breathe with a thundering pulse. Did's piercing eyes scanned they could sense Ben's presence. Ben pulled back, his determination blazing. "We're brilliant." Then before he had to reveal the fact that he searched their house together. Traveling in his own space like a robber following restless evenings, he discovered a loose floorboard in the living room. He opened it and discovered a secret passageway. Depths roiling with moist rot, such as the breath of a secret that has been hidden with a shuddering flashlight. He went down the beam that displayed chilly concrete walls. The tunnel led to what felt like a tomb, hidden chamber filled with cameras, lighting apparatuses, and a bulky safe that appeared to bear the burden of the worlds. After forcing the lock, Sins discovered that Jennifer had mentioned it in her notebook. It wasn't merely a list. It was an exhaustive journal detailing Diddy's notorious, frightful gatherings where wickedness, attacks, and misuse revealed A-list celebrities' names. Presents given to officials to make sure silence, fake charities that are used to traffic, and launder schedules and funds obtained through fictitious businesses were all recorded with even more terrifying accuracy. Some notes scribbled by hand in Jennifer's Ben got chills from the script. Make sure everyone moves and remains silent. The bundle via the fund. What were Ben was afraid to guess, yet every syllable inside the safe he was betrayed by when he connected a hard drive to as a short film on the laptop sprang to life. Frantic music, low lighting, and the silhouette of a lady who looks like Jennifer's gaze as she stands next to Diddy. Her look was as icy as ice for the small child. Appeared in the scene, full of panic. Ben was left behind before the video ended. Horrified and ablaze with inquiries that he was unable to watch, with greater fear of what could disclose that he broke his heart with the woman he not only had loved, but who was involved in crimes that are too heinous to. Ben's thoughts were coiled with doubt, similar to a poisonous snake clenching with each moment that goes by. Digging through, he found an old document on Jennifer's desk, phone concealed. In a secret drawer, he was stopped cold by a single unread message. "We're safe now that Shine took the fall." The 1999 shooting at a nightclub flashed into the memory that sent young Ben rapper Shine to 10 years in prison. Was looking through outdated articles and contacting an unnamed then. The investigative journalist discovered that Jennifer was taken into custody following the incident with Diddy, but was promptly freed following a vouch from Nada Rubin's innocent victim, who swore Diddy still struck her in the face. His testimony had been protected by Jennifer's. There was a darker notion that Jennifer might have then slipped the firearm into the club. Felt as though he held the phone in his hands. What chilled him to the bone was a live grenade. However, bone was a marriage license. Between Diddy and Jennifer in 1999, it wasn't love that led to this covert union. It was a planned action to protect Jennifer, shielded from testifying against Diddy. Ben is much worse off due to marital privilege. Discovered records linking the discovered firearms, a scary figure in the tunnel to his own name, designed to place the responsibility on him. In spite of Ben paused as the pain tore at his spirit. He carefully copied in order to collect himself. All of the supporting documentation, the notebook, and the stored items were in the phone's hard disk, a safe place where he wrestled every night. His rage was stinging from betrayal, insisting that he shout, but he felt helpless in the face of an overwhelming force compared to himself. Dylan wasn't a single man. He served as the focal point of an expansive criminal network's extending tendrils. Attorneys, legislators, and even the FBI. Ben understood that making the evidence public could have fatal repercussions for him. And pictures of his family and the SUV collision into his vehicle and his parents' residence vandalized, and the danger of blood red. His entire life was plagued by the scroll on their wall. But a glimmer of justice appeared when Cassie Ventura Benoit, the ex-girlfriend, courageously took the opportunity to observe, her voice shattering. Cassie described years of coercion and manipulation into going to Diddy's insane freak show gatherings, where she had to participate with unknown people as he observed. He had complete control over everything, including the clothing I wore to my very soul. Gushing down her face, followed by Cassie revealing that Jennifer was a regular attendee at the gatherings. Cassie whispered to her that she knew everything. Words dangling over Ben's head like a blade. The earth appeared to move below. He wasn't prepared to accept that, though. Jennifer participated in that darkness. Quietly gave the notebook a firm drive and called the FBI, but he was detained. Returning one last secret to the safe, he discovered a marriage license between Diddy and Jennifer signed late tonight. A covert union wasn't a sign of love. There was a planned defense to keep Diddy safe, from legal action to spousal. Ben's privilege seized the document. Heart crushed, but he was aware that creeping toward the storm center, Ben told his story in the courtroom. With a quivering voice, that never he described the terrifying automobile with hesitation. Destroy the notebook and the secret passageway. Listing the horrors committed by Diddy, he displayed the text messages sent by the phone as evidence that Jennifer had smuggled a firearm while investigating the nightclub incident in 1999, and Shy was blamed for the marriage. The certificate was held aloft like a flag revealing the truth about Jennifer's legal strategy. Ben's voice uttered, "I loved her once," as piercing as a razor as he met Jennifer, is currently seated in the gallery. Colorless face, so she decided to accept the testimony of the demon Ben caused the courtroom to tremble. Diddy's legal team started an instant counterattack, jumping up and down and declaring that Ben's charges were an angry ex-husband's made-up story. The judge was ordered to dismiss the proof that Ben is a liar and portraying him as a man engulfed in Jennifer's vendetta. But the judge, influenced by the careful attention to detail and Ben's proof's indisputable weight, an order was placed. The FBI will immediately search Ben's mansion in order to confirm the hidden passage. He also ordered the reopening of the examination of the nightclub in 1999. Aiming specifically at Jennifer Lopez's function in Diddy's network, and a subpoena was sent, requiring Jennifer to provide testimony. But a few hours later, Jennifer Lopez received a bombshell. Disappeared. Nobody was aware of Jennifer's whereabouts. She did not attend any public gatherings. She disregarded the press, and her opulent Beverly Hills estate's windows were empty. Caked rumors circulated that she had escaped to a nation with no millions spent on the extradition pact to dwell in concealment while Diddy stayed. His eyes in the defendant's chair glimmering like a smile from a predator, his lips were curled as though he had a secret. The public was yet unknown to the world. Jennifer burst into questions. Genuinely, a victim or a complicit party? If Diddy was only a part of a bigger criminal apparatus that was executing the plan, why would Ben Affleck be a man with strings, who once avoided attention, daring to face such a powerful force as the most important question persisted like a tempest? Does justice actually exist? Cloud, or will it? Wealth and power still envelop the Ben Affleck was once a man who was deceived, intimidated, and forced to the brink of survival. He has become an uncompromising emblem of bravery in the face of impending danger of reprisals from a large and strong network. He decided to support fairness, not only for himself but also for Diddy's innumerable victims without names, like Shine, who spent 10 years of his life behind bars. In the shadows, Cassie was mistreated by numerous others, crushed by the weight of corruption. Ben's narrative is a potent reminder that despite a world full of cunning, power, and bravery, the truth can burn like a never-ending fire. However, the lingering question, where's Jennifer, and will justice be served? Lopez's concealment and other terrible Diddy secrets are waiting to be revealed. Will Ben encounter a nefarious web that unravels further dangers? Or will he turn into the hero who shatters the illusion of power? And above all, will you support the truth or allow falsehoods to persist and control the globe? Pay attention, because this story is not quite finished, but one thing is, the fire of justice has undoubtedly been ignited, and it will blaze through all secrets, no matter how powerful those behind it might